What's up, guys? It's Maverick here with another episode of ReZero Season 1, the Director's Cut. This is episode 7, which I believe correlates with episode 12 and 13 of the original TV anime. Anyways, in the last episode, we learned a lot more about Rim and Ram, their circumstances and whatnot, and Subaru certainly did a lot to gain their trust, right? In fact, I would almost confidently say that he's past this stage, if you will. You know, again, if we're using a gamification idea to the story, passing or clearing a specific stage, so moving on with the story, right? Though with that being said, there's still this doubt in the back of my head, right? That's what the series does best. It plants that seed of doubt in your head. He is, after all, still only on the 4th night, and he just made his promise to Emilia to go on a date, so things could just go completely to whack right at the beginning of this episode. I don't know, but I guess we should just go into it and find out right now. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. What's with that weird? What? Okay, so I guess this is the next morning? Alright, so that means Subaru was able to pass the 4th night unscathed. I mean, nothing in particular happened. Hmm. You did a lot, Subaru. And me. And Beatrice. Oh, I thought I was almost ready to say cue the opening. Oh, this. Okay, cue the opening, right? Uh... Now, even though I said all that about passing, clearing the stage, whatever you want to call it, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's able to what's it called? Move his save point forward, right? I mean, logically, right? Logically, you would think that he now has a new save point, probably from the beginning of this morning. But hard to say. I mean, he could literally go back to like the beginning of his stay here in the mansion if he dies again. Since it's still unclear what exactly triggers a new save point. Alright. This area. And of course he's off to do something. New character? Oh, this is the one. This is the emissary, right? Head Pierce. Yeah. Oh. Ah, Rem's been completely captivated by him. Oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, a sword demon. Well, well. Oh, they're back? Wait, they're holding hands? I mean, man, Rim is totally on his side now. Oh, Mm. Alright. Julius? Julius? I'll see where we're gonna take. What? So, video teleconferencing. Uh, I'll bet he's off to do something. Are these the free from the first? Yeah. Okay, from the first episode. Free fucks. Cool. Okay. Hmm. Oh, okay. This works as well. I kind of believe her. Okay. Alright. I definitely feel like Felton has a little bit more to her background and whatnot. Oh, looking for her? Yeah, yeah, they know each other. She's one of the other princesses. Probably one of the other princesses. Yeah, such an understanding girl now. Hmm? The hell? Oh, it's these two. Is this gonna cause a misunderstanding with Amelia? Your app. Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that this is not exactly a good one. Huh. This certainly. Hmm. This selection ceremony and whatnot certainly came a lot earlier than I was expecting. I thought this was actually something that was gonna take a long time. Yeah, it's Reinhardt. Shh. Home? Holy sh! What? Oh, Alrighty. What's gonna happen now? Okay. A bit of an airhead, although she seems serious. Well, they certainly have a bunch of interesting retainers. Yeah, these are a bunch of interesting people. Well, at the very least, I'm glad that Subaru's not the only sore thumb sticking out, right? He's got his retainer buddies with him. Mm. Astrea. Is that like a very... It's spelt, isn't it? Yeah, it's definitely... Subaru's gonna go crazy now. Right. So it probably definitely had something to do with that, insignia. What the hell is with this? Another kick? What the hell's happening here? Yeah, it reacted to her. Hmm. Alright. I mean, I definitely knew that she was special. I never would I have thought she would actually be a princess. But alrighty. Oop. So what are these two sides? One side is Imperial Knights. What's the other side? Yeah, she's probably strong as well. She has such a sharp tongue. Seriously, what kind of farce is this? Hmm. So is it gonna be Subaru that stands behind Emilia? Or is it gonna be Roswell? Yeah, Roswell. Ah. Yeah. Subaru's about to explode! Knight? He was trying to use a. What's it called? Samurai pose. Alright, so I guess knights are a very special distinction in this world. Like seriously, what is with all this? Like seriously, if I was somebody who was attending this meeting as well, I'd be super impatient. Like, what the hell is with? Do people really need to see you two arguing over here? A duel? What in the world is actually going on right now? Guess he. Death penalty? Dude, if he's now for this one, I kind of feel like Subaru deserves to be smacked around at least a little bit. Oh. No. Okay, so his death is here. Oh, okay, never mind. mean... Wow. Damn. This is such... What? Yeah, but she doesn't... What is your problem, Subaru? And they're talking about two different things, right? Ah, what is this? Oh my god. Wow, an ending right there. This is what you call an ending that gives you a stomach ache, right? Well, well. All right, I'll see you guys after this. Well, that was certainly hard to watch, wasn't it? That entire ending part. You know, I was kind of quiet throughout the end there because on one hand it is something of a kind of horrifying, right, to watching a train wreck unfold right in front of you. At the same time, though, I was also kind of holding back and biting my tongue because I feel like if anything else, I'd probably be shouting at Subaru to shut the hell up, right? For the record, right, before we go into anything else, I actually fully agree with the duel and with Julia's smacking him around a little bit. I will have to say that Subaru was completely out of line there during back at the selection scene. Not for his antics and all that, right? That's fine. I mean, well, I mean it's not fine, but what can you say, right? He's the main character. Of course, he's going to show off this kind of things. But however, insulting the entire group of knights, like they literally did nothing to insult or harm Emilia, right? They did nothing to offend you. Even Julius, right? It's really only Subaru's own jealousy, envy, I guess the work of the witch, if you will, that's really compelling him to be jealous of Julius, right? Even back then, like, what did he do? He basically gave a proper knightly conduct as how a knight should act in front of a princess, right? And that was basically it. He didn't insult Subaru in any way. He definitely didn't insult Emilia, and was generally courteous throughout. And then you had to go, I think it wasn't even a case of Subaru saying that he was a knight, right? Obviously, I think a knight means something very specific here in this world. It probably means something that means a great deal. You're not allowed to just simply call yourself a knight. It's more of a, it's probably definitely used more of a title than a sort of description of what a person does. But even that, sure. If it was only that and Julius was beating him up, I would probably be like, hey, come on, man. You're being a little bit too close-minded here. Back off a little bit. But then Subaru just had to go and insult the entire knightly order and whatnot. And I don't even know what they're doing, right? They could be like the most hardworking people ever, or they could be just a bunch of lazy bums who did, earn their position through hereditary titles or something like that. I don't know, right? I don't really have any specific knowledge of that yet. Still, you don't go around insulting a group of people, right? Not to mention one of your close acquaintances. Well, I guess not really close, but a pretty friendly acquaintance, Reinhard, is also part of the Knights, and then you had to go around and do something like that. I think the parting dialogue from Julius there was quite apt. You're making a very ugly face now, Subaru. Stop. So yeah, I think, and it wasn't even like a case where they later on went, used like underhand tactics or whatnot. It was just a straight up duel challenge and so on and so forth. To be honest, during that scene, I was wanting to jump in and give Subaru a punch as well. So, just for the record, I do believe Julius is in the right there. But yeah, alright. With that out of the way, let's talk a little about this episode, right? I guess we can start from the very end there, right? The sort of entire misunderstanding, or the consequences of having this ability, this return from death ability, this reset ability is really rearing its ugly head now. Because from Emilia's perspective, she really didn't do anything for Subaru, right? The time when she was attacked in meeting Subaru at the inn, right, at the old man's inn, was literally the first time that she saw Subaru. And then later on, she didn't really do anything specific for Subaru either, except talk to him and also give him a lap pillow, right? Whereas from Subaru's perspective, obviously he had all the other memories with her as well. There's already this sort of dissonance here, right? That's really causing. I mean, you definitely feel for both of them. You feel for Emilia's situation as well, right? She's going to this just like, why are you being like this? And treating me so special and all that, because it's really coming as, it's entirely confusing to her, right? I definitely don't blame her position. At the same time, for Subaru, you also have to really feel for him. He went through all that, and he died numerous times. He bared a lot of pain, right? He got chopped up, he got close to death, beaten up, but not really quite to death. He had all those bad experiences and all of that, and yet, he still can't fully gain Emilia's trust at this moment in time, right? So of course he's gonna feel frustrated. But well, that's just the price you gotta pay, I guess, for having this ability of resetting. You are going to have to bear all that pain and all those missed memories and whatnot. That is the price you have to pay for having this ability here, right? So what can I say? Subaru, you gotta suck it up. You gotta suck it up. You gotta move forward. If this is the path that you've chosen, well, it's really not easy, right? So it feels kind of unfair and all that, but in this case, really the only thing I can say is Subaru, you gotta make yourself stronger, not only from a physical and fighting perspective, but also mentally as well, right? That's really all you can say about that situation. So I'm not gonna blame him for that outburst and whatnot, even though that was definitely, again, out of line and definitely very cringy to watch and all that. You just get that, like I said at the beginning, you're watching a train wreck unfold right before you, right? But for that, I can kind of feel for his position. But again, lashing out, definitely not the way to solve things. And well, that's just that, right? What more can I say here? The entire princess selection process and all that, it was definitely interesting to see Felt coming out as a princess, or I guess a candidate, right? Not quite a princess, but a candidate to become the ruler of the country here. I definitely didn't expect this kind of development. I did kind of feel like she was probably going to be playing an important role, back in, what was it, episode 1 or episode 2, right, with the insignia and with Reinhardt getting all, getting his panties up in a bunch over her and whatnot. You definitely know that she is of importance somehow. But okay, I guess. Not really that much else to say right there. The entire princess selection and all that. I mean, sorry, the entire candidate selection. It's just so weird. I mean, half the time, really. Honestly, if I was part of the knights there, one of the retainers or that, I would also be like thinking, what the hell, man? You guys are wasting so much time. I'm not here to watch you guys squabble over your petty differences and all that. In terms of the retainers or subordinates or attendants or knights, whatever you call it, right? We're here to actually try and get this ceremony or whatnot moving forward. We're not here to listen to your petty squabbles. Do that elsewhere. Do that on your own private time, right? This is something to do with the entire country here. So it was indeed quite weird looking at that situation. But I guess it works to Subaru's favor, because otherwise he would definitely be the odd one sticking out and causing even more embarrassment, not only for himself, but also Emilia and all those associated with her as well. And I think that's definitely something that he's definitely going to have to learn going forward, right? He's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to do the thing that he feels is best for Emilia. He's an emotional person, all that. Sometimes you just gotta rein it in a little bit, right? But I'm sure that he'll have numerous chances in the... Well, actually, on that subject, though, I'm not quite sure if he can redo that part again. If I were to guess right now, I would say that his reset point has changed. I would bet that his reset point is probably, to right now, as he is lying in bed and gaining consciousness and then having this talk with Emilia, right? He didn't quite die there, but if we go back to... I mean, we obviously only had one reset point change so far, so there's the total sample size is a whooping 1, but last time the reset point change, it definitely changed from a time when he turned conscious from an unconscious state, right? So that this moment, the ending part here right before Subaru woke up, it'd definitely be as good a time as any. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. I really don't have too much else to comment on, because like I said, it's really just a pretty hard episode to watch Subaru be, not only the things he does, but also the way that he's treated and all that. Except for the duel with Julius, because as I mentioned before, I do approve of Julius giving him a smackdown for that. But for the rest, I mean, you still gotta feel for Subaru, right? He's still the main character. We know he's a good guy at heart. It's just, he needs to approach things a little bit differently. But then again, if he was the kind of person who was able to do things the right way the first time, we probably wouldn't be having this series here, right? So, there we go. That's it for episode 7 of ReZero. I'll see you guys next time as well. I'm probably gonna have to be pumping out episodes nearly every day for this week if I want to make it in time. So, do stay tuned for that. Anyways, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.